Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. And this is to the 10th episode of the 7th season of MLP. And several people have told me that this is an incredible episode, it's shocking, so be surprised. Now, all I can say, I know, several people have made mentions to me that this episode, I had a couple people on Facebook and on YouTube both tell me that this episode was amazing, and my best friend also said that they wouldn't spoil it for me. But dang, this episode was good, and so my best friend and a few other people have been really excited about this episode, and so I know with so many people, I know that this episode is going to be fantastic. And the only thing that I know about this episode is that Celestia and Luna are in this episode. It's the only thing I know. That's the only thing that I know about this episode at all. So, that's the only thing that I know. Thankfully, I've managed to avoid spoilers. All I know is that people have been saying, dude, your mind's going to be blown whenever you watch this episode. This is a great episode. So, that's all that I know. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin with this episode. Double check everything's recording. Good. Full screen now. This is a royal problem. Okay, starting video on 3, 2. Also, I had to check the intro or the beginning for this right here. This is the one that this is the only one that I found that was in good quality. That had. I apologize for this intro. I didn't put it here. It was already on this one, so sorry for that. So, start the video on 3, 2, 1, click. Okay. Okay, so it didn't miss anything. Okay, good.
I can't believe it either. The map has never called me before.
What?
I'm sure that's not why she looks like that. Oh, actually it is. Well, it's that and the fact that you're being called to the royal palace.
What?
What an Equestria could be going on there? Do you want me to come with you? No, I shouldn't. The map just called you for a reason, right? Though maybe it's a mistake. Not because of you, because it's never called just one of us before. I
That's
also
adorable.
wasn't nervous before, but now... Don't worry. For all we know, it's something small. Like maybe the cooks are fighting over who has the best butternut squash soup. Or the royal hairdressers are fighting over a comb.
Or you know, maybe the royal sisters aren't seeing eye to eye on something.
No! That's just crazy. Luna and Celestia would never fight. Again.
Oh, this is interesting.
So the map sent you to solve a friendship problem?
Yes, Princess.
Well, there's nothing wrong here, right, sister?
No. Everything's perfect as usual, sister.
Oh my gosh! Oh, there's no intro. Okay, that's cute. What?
Is that you? How are you here? I'm not. I'm still home. It's an easy spell. I'll show you later. Anyway, enough about me. I had to check on you. Not kind of way, and friendly how's it going kind of way. So, how's it going?
Not great.
I love this.
I think the problem might be between Celestia and Luna. Oh no, that's terrible. I mean, what makes you say that? You know how some ponies say nothing's wrong, but you can tell something's definitely wrong?
Yes.
No. That's basically what the princesses did when I said there
I
was
love
a
this
friendship
episode
problem.
already.
Only they did it more, regally. Oh, I wish I could help you, but I can't. Both for map reasons and because I have no idea. This is big! Like, really big!
Oh crap.
I'm here if you ever need to talk or listen to music. Comforting, right?
Oh my gosh, I freaking love this episode. Hey, pancakes.
Thank you so much for breakfast, Princess. I can't believe you
Celestia.
cook it yourself.
Of course, Starlight.
That's adorable.
I really enjoy doing it. It's a small way to say, I care.
Hey, Luna.
Good morning, sister. Join us?
Too tired.
Please excuse me.
Oh my gosh, I love this episode.
Last night must have been really hard on her.
Perhaps, but she is like this every morning.
Oh boy.
So, I think Luna may be hurting her sister's feelings without even realizing it. Poor Celestia. That's so sweet that she makes her sister pancakes every morning. She's your mentor. I think you might be biased. So what are you gonna do?
Let her use that!
Nothing. Yet. I have to get all the facts. I asked Luna if I could spend some time with her this evening.
Yes! They used it! Oh my gosh.
Waiting for you, miss.
Good luck, Starlight!
That is adorable. Wow, I love the detailing.
You do this every night?
Lavender's calming scent is known to aid dreamers in achieving a restorative sleep.
That's so thoughtful.
I try my best to make sure the ponies in this castle sleep peacefully.
And so then I said, touring, more like boring.
Oh, you really are a card.
But as always, my sister is too busy having fun with dignitary ponies to acknowledge anything I do.
Oh my gosh. This is basically setting itself up for what happened in season 1 all over again.
Hurting each other without realizing it. And instead of talking about it, they're just getting colder and more distant.
And that's what...
And they're Celestia and Luna, so it's not like you can just confront them. Actually, that's exactly what I was gonna do. What? Are you crazy?
Twilight, you're going to break yourself.
I mean, you do whatever you think is best. This is your mission. Gee, thanks for believing in me, Twilight. I do. But the last time the princesses fought, Luna turned into Nightmare Moon,
Yeah.
and Princess Celestia had to banish her for 1,000 years. That can't happen again. Well, I can't do nothing. The princesses aren't the best at communicating with each other. Sorry, it's just, you said princesses and aren't the best in the same sentence, and it's making me nervous. I'm not much help, am I? No.
Okay, this is already one of my favorite episodes of this series. Definitely of this season, definitely of the
Like
series.
I said, I enjoy this part.
Something is... Do you like bananas?
Princess Luna, wait.
Oh, freaking...
As you both know, the map sent me here for a reason, and I think I found out what it is.
Really? Oh, that is wonderful, Starlight. What is it?
You too.
You two.
Excuse me?
Beg your pardon.
I think you're
And
accidentally
she gets blasted to the moon.
feelings without realizing it. Princess Celestia, does it bother you that Luna never notices the wonderful breakfast that you prepare for her?
Yes, it does.
Princess Luna, tell Celestia how you feel about the fact that she never acknowledges the work you put into lining the hallway with lavender every night.
It's not the best feeling.
I'm sorry, I've never noticed that you make fruit faces on pancakes. But nights are long for me. You might be a morning pony, but I am half asleep.
You think I don't get tired? I'm exhausted. Oh, I apologize for not noticing flowers in a wall sconce, but by the time I get to retire for the night, I can barely see straight. Even so, I still make an effort to smile.
Like smiling is so hard.
I'm sure that's not what Princess Luna meant to say.
Is that what exhausts you? Smiling and being adored by every pony?
And you have it so much worse, do you? You spend your evenings flitting around giving ponies lovely dreams.
Oh, it sounds just awful.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I feel like we should step back, take a deep
Hide the elements of harmony, okay? Just hide
What it's like
them.
to govern the dream room, and yet you know exactly what it's like to be me? Oh, police.
Enough!
Oh crap.
There. Now you'll know exactly what it's like to be
Oh, you're so getting blasted to the moon. Oh boy, you better like bananas.
What have you done?
And they're suddenly aware of how powerful she is.
Switch out Cutie Marks back this instant.
My apologies, Your Majesties, but I can't, even if I wanted to. This spell lasts 24 hours.
Oh!
May have been extreme, but I think it's still a good idea.
What?
But that's not in Starlight!
Neither of you believes your sister knows how hard it is to be you. So, this is your chance to prove it.
Well, I could use an easy day followed by a good night's sleep.
You can try. I haven't had an easy day in, well, ever. But now I get to sleep, and tonight will be a breeze. All right, Starlight Glimmer, we will do this.
Good choice.
Or they will kill
Not that
you.
you had one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop talking now.
Twilight!
You switched their cutie marks! The actual princess's cutie marks? I thought we moved past this. It was the right call. I hope.
Twilight's gonna have a heart attack. Her first major panic attack.
Just, reading an exciting book. He's gonna think I'm nuts. He's not the only one.
Oh my gosh.
As you can see,
Oh my
Celestia
gosh.
and I are switching places today. I assure you, I am more than capable of
I have a
handling
feeling-
all of Celestia's duties. Dismissed.
I can imagine the princess is having like a big car, and I imagine if this doesn't work, Starlight's dead, and they toss her in the
Says
trunk.
You have a few public appearances, store openings, judging the Royal Rose contest, you know, that sort of thing.
Oh, I knew today would be easy, but I didn't think it would be that easy.
Oh my gosh. Pardon me. Again, this is an amazing episode. Because it actually shows more development, more personality. It shows more in depth of Luna and Celestia. Plus, it's adorable and fun.
Princess Luna unhappy with student fundraiser? But I wasn't unhappy.
You are scowling.
I didn't mean to. I've been smiling all day. My cheeks hurt. I stopped for 1 second, and that's when he took the picture.
Guess smiling all day isn't as easy as you thought?
It says here that because of me, the school didn't raise enough funds to go on their field trip. I didn't mean for that to happen.
But you can't dwell on that now. According to the list,
I am freaking adore this
Celestia's
episode.
arrived for a luncheon. You need to dispel rumors of timber wolves in the Whitetail Woods. The nearby towns have been in a state of
We're going to
panic for
we're going to Whitetail Woods.
But I have to fix this.
You can't. You need to put on a brave face and help these ponies. It's what Celestia would do.
Hello! Great news! There are no timber wolves!
There are definitely timber wolves.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't stop thinking about those poor students. Normally, I have all the time and solitude I need to work through my problems at my own pace.
Well, your sister doesn't get that luxury.
Ready for the town hall?
Glad that's settled.
It only took 3 hours.
That got heated, didn't it?
Still on for go.
Oh, absolutely.
You made it to the end of the day. Yay?
Oh, yes, I'm just going to turn in then. Good night, Starlight. Oh, hello, Starlight. I don't know about you, but I feel very well rested. Where's Luna?
She already turned in for the night.
Did she now? It seems my duties were harder than my sister expected. Moon raised. It's even easier than raising the sun. What's next? Of course. Every pony's asleep at night. Luna works alone.
Oh, but it's nothing I can't handle. All I have to do is watch over Equestria, visit the dream realm, and protect ponies in their nightmares. My list was 3 times as long.
And...
All right, every pony's asleep. You're talking to yourself, Celestia. There's no pony else to talk to. Yet, I can talk to ponies in their dreams.
Was that daring do? Discord.
Now, to save some ponies from their nightmares, which aren't real, so it shouldn't be too hard, right? Right. Good call, Celestia.
Was that a weeping angel?
And I'm talking to myself.
Happy! Oh dear.
I care.
Oh gosh. Oh shoot.
No! This is big! Like, really big!
Oh gosh.
Starlight, I'm here now. Tell me what's wrong.
Going with my gut was the wrong call. I was supposed to bring you two closer together, but I've only driven you apart. If you two can't see why you need each other, then I am back.
Oh gosh.
Don't worry, Starlight. I know how to handle Nightmare Moon. Yes, but can you handle me?
What on earth? She just went Super Saiyan. Freak! She just...
This can't be.
What the...
If Luna can turn into Nightmare Moon,
What are you?
can absolutely turn into me, Daybreaker. The better, prettier, and more powerful version of you. No, I'll never turn into you. Deep inside, you know how powerful you are.
Oh.
You don't need Luna. That's not true. Even when we were apart.
That's like the devil on your shoulder.
Oh, please! You don't need any pony. You can do whatever you want. And all you have to do
Whose nightmare is
bring
this?
any pony who stands in your way. I never should have banished you to the moon. I should have destroyed you!
No, you can't do that. Day, night, sun, moon, Equestria needs both of you. Without balance, there's no harmony.
Who needs balance when you can have it all?
You can't get rid of me so easily, sister. Unless you plan on smiling me to smithereens.
I told you I was more powerful than you! Oh, so much black. We get it, you're sad. You could really use some sun!
Ah. Oh crap. Oh my.
It's not my fault. I never should have gone on this mission. Now Equestria is doomed. That smile's too wide. It's obviously not real.
That's Luna's nightmare.
Why don't you want us to go on our field trip?
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Oh shoot.
I mean, I do. That smile's too wide.
My gosh, this just got dark, man.
Celestia, I'm so glad you...
I've seen a lot, but I haven't seen this before. It's Starlight Glimmers. She's afraid this is what would happen if we continue to fight.
What was I thinking? I'm never going with my gut again.
If you don't fix this soon, it could have a grave consequence on Starlight's psyche.
Yeah, it could break her. It could break her mentality completely.
I thought if we work together, I have your magic, remember? It doesn't work in the dream realm. It has to be you. Oh, Luna, I can't do this. I was wrong. Your job is so incredibly hard. You have to battle nightmares and work in the darkness and do it all alone. It takes such a brave, strong pony to do what you do.
And that pony is you.
I walked a day in your shoes. I thought all you had to do was smile and be adored all the time, but I was wrong. There is so much more to it than that.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh.
Don't do this to each other!
In order to defeat Daybreaker, you need only to trust in your strength, as I do.
You can't destroy me! I'm everything you want to be! No, you're not! You are not real, and you will never exist again!
Damn! Oh. Well, that was fast.
You did it! Only because you were here. I don't know how you do this alone.
So, did you talk to yourself?
A little.
Is this really happening? Or is this still a dream?
Welcome back, sister. I know you had a long night, so I made you some pancakes.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
How nice. They're delicious. Thank you.
I know that face. They're not. I know you have to be perfect for every pony else, and you do an amazing job, but you don't have to do it for me.
In that case, they are terrible.
Oh, this is episode.
Tried. I love you, sister.
I love you too.
So, this was real. Or was it not real? And this just happened now and not in my dream? I'm so confused.
It's all real. It was the right call, going with your gut.
The map was wise to send you, Starlight. No pony else would have been so bold as to do what you did.
That's a nice way of saying I came dangerously close to messing everything up.
It was just what we needed. The experience has made us closer than ever.
Wait, I'm not doing this.
The map!
I believe that one means your mission is complete.
Wow! I can't wait to tell Twilight!
I already know! I mean, I don't know everything. I just got here to bring you a toothbrush.
So this is just a friendly visit, not interfering, because I was worried. I wasn't! I knew you could do it. I'm so glad you told me everything. Time for after I hyperventilated and don't leave out any details!
Oh, by the way, there's a field trip you need to make happen and a Timberwolf issue you need to address.
What?
Oh, look, there's the sun. Time for me to turn in.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my, okay, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I can tell why. I can easily see right now why so many people wanted me, oh my gosh, to check out this episode. Oh my gosh! This is definitely one of my favorite episodes of all time. This is my favorite, one of my favorite episodes of the season and of the series in general, man. This is just a great episode. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So much happened in this episode. Oh my gosh. This was the episode that that has been a long time coming. Just completely a long time coming. Oh man. First, the map calls Starlight Glimmer to Canterlot, to the castle, because it has, pardon me, a friendship problem. And it's Celestia and Luna who are having the issues. And we actually get to see them bickering. We actually get to see them arguing. We actually get to see them not exactly acting like the regal characters that we've seen, the dignified, regal sisters that we've seen for so long. again, this was the most that we've seen them act as real ponies, as natural ponies in a long time. And my gosh, I freaking love this. It's not just that. There's a bunch of other stuff. First off, with the story, it was kind of reminiscent. Like this was almost like a glimpse back to what created Nightmare Moon. You know, in the original, Luna was feeling left out. She didn't feel like anybody enjoyed her night. Here, she put a lot of effort into trying to make sure that people had good dreams and that they didn't. I mean, she did stuff to try to help make dreams more soothing, more tranquil for other ponies there. Yeah, it didn't feel like she got any appreciation for all the work that she'd done. Celestia, it didn't feel like Celestia was actually paying any attention to it and was just completely taking it all for granted. Well, and so from Luna's perspective, Celestia just kind of had it easy. Like Luna had a really difficult job, and Celestia's wasn't hard. Same thing can kind of be said. Celestia believed that she had a hard job and that she had to attend these different things during the day, and she had to be around other ponies, make decisions, and it was also a strain for her as well. But Luna didn't feel like Luna actually appreciated that either. And so they both had difficult jobs. They both had difficult things that they had to do, but neither understood each other's perspective and didn't really see the difficulty in it. And so but each one had a different perspective with it. Celestia had to smile and be around other ponies and attend these different events, make decisions, attend these different things during the day. Luna had to do all this stuff at night by herself. She had to be alone in doing it. She had to face these nightmarish creatures with other ponies alone and help other ponies with their dreams. And so it's what she had to do that. And Starlight was called in rather, because of the map, because of the friendship problem. And it was interesting because there was a contrast here. Twilight had a different perspective, a different idea what she wanted to do, or she would have handled it. But Starlight just went with her gut instinct, which kind of was, I guess, I'm pretty sure it was unintentional, accidentally blasting the sisters and switching their cutie marks. And she couldn't change it, and the spell lasted for 24 hours, and so she figured either it would work and everything would be fine, or she'd be dead, and that she'd be blasted to the moon forever. Not longer than 1,000 years. And it was kind of interesting here because it's at this point that I think Celestia and Luna actually got a glimpse of how powerful that Starlight is. And it was interesting to see that. But it was at this point Luna and Celestia each had to step into each other's horseshoes and take on each other's responsibilities. And whenever that happened, they began to see the difficulty each one had. And they realized they couldn't do it because the other one had been doing it for so long. They were used to it. It's basically walk a mile in someone else's shoes. That's exactly what this is. Or that concept of you don't understand until you walk a mile in their shoes. They didn't understand each other's perspectives, how important that each other's responsibilities were, until they had to take those exact same responsibilities on themselves. And then it was at that point that they realized the challenge and the difficulties that both faced in doing that. And because of that, because of them having to experience each other's perspectives, and also to work together, and they were able to become closer. They had a much better appreciation for what each other done. They had a greater understanding and appreciation for that, and so they were able to reconcile with each other. They had that greater understanding, and it was actually able to bring them closer. And so this was a really great episode. Because of that. And the really cool thing, I'm honestly happy that they did this with Celestia and Luna, and they didn't do this with any other character. They could have done this with any other character, but I'm really glad that they did it with Luna and Celestia, because this was an episode that this episode was amazing, not just because it was amazing because it focused on Luna and Celestia as the main characters, but it gave a lot more development for them, and it also gave a greater perspective into their mentality. And this was basically the way that I look at this episode. This is the final bit. This is the last chapter in the whole concept of Nightmare Moon. This is the final chapter in that. This closes the book on it, because before, there was nothing where Luna and Celestia addressed what had happened before, what had happened in the past. There was nothing on screen that actually showed them addressing what had happened before. We had seen some things before with Luna and Celestia having with Luna having nightmares of turning back into Nightmare Moon, of her not wanting to go back to what happened before. We also saw that it affected Celestia emotionally as well, for having to banish her own blood. But there was nothing so much like this, and this was basically going back to that. This was them experiencing that from each other's perspectives, and them having a greater understanding of each other and the responsibilities that they had to do, and how important that each other's roles were. And because of that, there's no bitterness. There's no bad blood. This closed the book on it. This finished the final chapter, because there's no more bitterness. There's no bad blood. They understand each other more now than they did before. They understand the importance of it. Celestia understands, and she realizes that Luna has to do all of that alone. There's no one there with her. She has to do it. She has to do it alone. Something that Celestia doesn't feel that she could do. Luna, having to attend all these different things and just make all these decisions that Celestia does, she doesn't feel that she can do. Pardon me. She doesn't feel that she can do that either. And they both respect now greater what each other's roles are. They both respect each other, their roles, and what they have to do. And they have a greater understanding and appreciation both for each other and for their roles that they have to do, the importance of the roles. And because of this experience, it enabled them to be able to grow closer. And like I said, to me, this closes the book. This closes that final page, and this completely writes off the Nightmare Moon saga, because there's no bitterness. This is something, I dare say, this is something that we have been wanting to see for a long time. We've been wanting to see something of closure, where they have a talk about what had happened before, and any bitterness, any negative emotions that they have, they release all of that, and they put the past behind them and focus ahead. They put the past behind them. They learn from the mistakes that they made. They learned about what had happened before. They both know not to do that again. They won't let it happen again, and they don't want to go back to that. And so they want to do better and focus on the future. This to me is that. They understood each other's perspectives better, and they're able to fully and finally 100% let go of the past and focus on the present and what lies ahead in the future. And to me, that's what this episode does. For the Royal Sisters, this finishes that saga. This finishes that, and it completely finishes it for good. And to me, this is closure. This is a closure with the sisters and what happened 7 years ago. This is closure. This is it. And that writes it off for me completely. And that's the way I personally look at it. And again, there's a lot of other things here. Like I said, besides that perspective, there's also the concept of, the roles that they had to experience each other's perspectives to have a greater understanding of the importance that each other's roles were. And that I'm really happy that they did it with the sisters, because it wouldn't have worked as well with any other character. It would not have worked. It could have been done, yes, and it would have been good, but this is something that needed to be done. they took advantage of it and they did it. This is something that needed to be done for a long time. That reconcile, that closure, that final piece of the puzzle to finish off that all of what happened in the past, this finishes it. And this was a wonderful episode because of that. This was a totally wonderful episode because of that. And there's plenty of other things here going on in this episode as well. It's interesting, story-wise, that Twilight, I mean, it's shocking that that she was just completely shocked, like beyond reasoning, that the map was sending Starlight to the royal castle. And it made Twilight concerned. Like, it made her completely concerned. What could possibly be wrong with the royal sisters? And, I kind of feel bad for her, yes, because it didn't send her, and she wanted to go. Obviously, she wanted to be there. But she also was mature enough to let Starlight go on her own. But she knows she still kind of was nosy, yes, but at least she didn't tag along directly and try to intervene. So she was mature enough to do that. So I can easily respect that. But again, it was also cute, and again, it's within Twilight's nature. So yes, her mentor may have been having some bitterness with her sister. Twilight wanted to help out. So again, I can understand that as well. It was cute and it was fun, and then it was interesting that Twilight was also concerned about it, and it made Starlight worry, like what could possibly be the friendship problem between them, and it was also interesting because Starlight, she noticed the bitterness between Luna and Celestia here. She noticed that. She picked up on it. And it makes me think, she's mature enough. She was able to analyze the situation. She was able to analyze it. She sort of went like full detective or Doctor Who mode, where she was able to just pick out the tiny details there and be able to pay attention to it, and actually be able to look at it and say, okay, there's something wrong. Like, she read their body language. She read how that they looked at each other, how that they spoke to each other, and she was able to understand that. And that's really cool. That's a really awesome little detail. Of course, the scene where she flopped down on the bed, again, was also adorable. Now, I also love the background in this room that she was staying in, the sunset view outside. That's really gorgeous. And there's a lot of detailing in this room here. The shadows, the shading is really gorgeous. And then Twilight, the ballerina on the little ballerina, that is adorable. And her hair is in a bun. Again, it's cute. It was adorable to see Twilight like that. It was adorable. And it was also cool to be able to see her trying to help out what she could, offering advice, listening to what Starlight said. It was also really cute. But it was also interesting, that contrast between them. Like, Starlight was trying to do what she thought was best, or the way that she knew how, and Twilight was like, no, you're going to get yourself blasted into oblivion if you continue down this path. Like, don't fuck with the royal sisters, otherwise you will be royally screwed. That was basically what Twilight was saying. And Starlight was like, eh. So again, it was interesting, the contrast here. It was interesting, the contrast between these two characters here, and it was hilariously and beautifully done. And again, whenever Starlight made the mention about how some ponies say things, whenever they say whenever they say everything's okay, but you can tell it's not okay. Again, it kind of makes me think about it kind of made me think about just off the top of my head. It kind of makes me think about. I think it was season 5 of Doctor Who, with the 11th Doctor. I think it was in the first. It was in the first episode, where the Doctor looks at Amy and says, "You know how I think it's in that episode." He says, "Oh yeah, it was in the episode." He says, "You know how some people tell you everything is going to be okay whenever it's really not, and you know they're lying." And he's like, "Everything's going to be okay." This kind of makes you think about that. I know it's not a reference. I know that it isn't. This is kind of true as well to real life people. Is like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's totally normal for you to be able to hold your head in your hands. It's totally normal. Like, it's totally fine. Like, it doesn't matter if blood is squirting from where your head used to be perfectly normal. It's just called, I mean, people just would look at you like a fruit gusher. I mean, people do that in real life. So again, this actually mirrors real life. And again, it was comical. Again, the faces, the actions, the dialogue, the facial expressions here, the body language was adorable and hilarious with the characters. I loved it. It was so much fun. And it was so cool and cute. And it was just so realistic in how that it was portrayed. It was so well done. I absolutely loved it. We also get to see, again, there was some really, really cute moments in this episode. And that moment whenever Luna walks in, grabs a pineapple, and says, "Too tired." And she just grabs a pineapple, takes a bite, and is like, "Too tired. Don't give a crap." Again, it was hilarious. And again, it's realistic because yeah. I mean, I've been in that boat before. Whenever you're freaking tired and you're just like, there's a bear outside with an afro. You know what? I don't care if there's a bear outside with an afro on a unicycle. I'm going to bed, man. Like, I know that feeling. And again, it was really cool. And it was also cool, again, the recurrence of Twilight being in that. And again, the thing, again, I really liked was whenever Twilight was kind of upholding for Celestia there. Like, and Starlight just bluntly said it, that she just bluntly said it, that Celestia is Twilight's mentor. She thinks Twilight might be biased. And I love this, man. I freaking love that line in this. Again, I love it. And honestly, I can forgive Twilight here because she acknowledged that she was biased. And you know what? It's understandable, like both characters' perspectives here. Because yeah, it's completely normal. If there's someone or something that you like and someone kind of begins to nitpick on it, you do. It's typical. You can get a little defensive over it. It's understandable. But I mean, it's understandable. But Twilight, she was mature enough. She acknowledged it. Like, okay, so I mean, she pretty much acknowledged it, that okay, like she acknowledged it, and she didn't dismiss it. Like, she didn't continue to openly say that Celestia was the greatest. Like, she fully acknowledged that there was something wrong, and that something needed to be done. That's good. That's good. That's great. There are people, however, that do the exact opposite. They will continue to uphold for something or put something down regardless. And yeah, and they won't listen to reason whatsoever. And I love Starlight Glimmer's perspective here. Like, I have even more admiration for her as a character after this episode. A good portion just simply because of that scene. Because and no, I do not hate Twilight. Twilight is still one of my most favorite characters. Twilight, I mean, Twilight did not drop even a speck on my favorite list after that scene. She's still one of my favorite characters, but just offhandedly here, biased people are definitely is one person that I cannot stand. In real life, I can't stand them. I can't. But again, I love that. I absolutely love that. I love the deliverance of that scene. I freaking loved it. I totally did. I freaking love that scene. And I'm so glad that they put it in there. Thank you, writers. Thank you. And again, the detailing with the lavender there is really cool. And I love how that they did that. And again, the detailing with this main hall here and the nighttime scenery outside, the purplish, like the purple and blue really gorgeous. I loved it. And again, it was really cute. Twilight being there, like standing on one little hoof, and again, it was hilarious. It was hilarious whenever Twilight said that about princesses and not the best in the same sentence, and Starlight's head just bangs on the table. And Twilight made the mention about her not helping, and Starlight didn't even lift her head, like she just left it there to respond. Again, I love the deliverance and the realistic nature and tone of this episode. I love how well everything played out and how everything worked. I absolutely love it. And again, it was really cool whenever Starlight accidentally. I have to admire her determination and guts to just confront the princesses about the issue. I really admire that. Like, she just faced it head on. I really admire that. But she had a major fear, both of screwing up that it wouldn't work and of dying at the princess's hooves. And like whenever their cutie mark was changed, I can imagine somebody doing a comic, honestly, or like a gore fic or something of that moment when after Starlight says, I just went with my gut. Celestia or Luna looking at her and saying, "Would you like to see what they look like?" I can imagine that. But again, again, it was cute and it was hilarious. And in that moment, whenever Celestia just is like, "What?" I mean, that's that moment. Like, you just see her charging her horn, ready to blast Starlight into the next millennia. And then again, they agree that they're going to try it out. And again, that moment whenever Starlight says, not that she had one in regard to the choice, and they just look at her, and you can hear the horse snort there from the sisters. My gosh, I love it. And then that moment, whenever Starlight's like, "I'm going to stop talking now." My gosh, I love the faces in this episode. I freaking adore the faces in this episode, man. And then, oh my god, Twilight was just hyperventilating. Like, I'm sure if you put a blood pressure monitor on Twilight right there, it would have been freaking through the roof. Like, it would have been dangerous critical levels. Like, she was literally hyperventilating. Like, if she wasn't on this little stand, like, at the castle, she probably had like a dozen paper bags that she just kept blowing through and then them just popping. And again, it was just hilarious. Like, she was just in a pure panic mode, and Starlight was just lying over here on the bed, like, "You know what? I don't need your crap right now. I'm going to die soon. I'm trying to plan out I'm trying to see if there's a spell that I know that can give me that can change my face so that I can live in peace without having to hide for the rest of my life." Again, it was just hilarious. Again, I love the contrast between the characters. And then whenever Twilight made the mention about Starlight said that the guard will think that she's crazy, and Twilight said, "He's not the only one." And Starlight's like, "Okay, you know what? Enough of you. I'm putting you in the drawer." I love that. It was so hilarious, man. And then again, I gotta say it. I love the mannerisms between Luna and Celestia in this episode. I really adore how that the characters acted more natural, more realistic, more like actual people, more like actual ponies in this episode. They weren't just the regal sisters that had to maintain a dignified and refined attitude, a regal appearance the whole time. No, there was a natural and realistic feeling to them in this episode. And it fit so well. I absolutely loved it, how that they did it. And again, I love how that the characters pretty much just shed the whole regal concept, the whole regal personality, the whole regal look, and just was natural. They were just normal. And I love how that they did it. And I love that there was actually an episode of The Princesses that showed that. I absolutely love it. That little moment whenever Starlight is trying to get Luna to smile, and Luna keeps like kind of duck waddling over to the sides. Hilarious. And it was interesting that whenever Luna found out about the kids not being able to go on their field trip, like that really bothered her. That really bothered her, and she really wanted to make amends, and it haunted her. And so it shows that she really has care for others, and she really wanted to make amends, and it really bothered her. And then that moment where her face just suds on the table again. It was natural. It was realistic. It was not regal, and I freaking love it. I freaking love it. And then we got to hear the return of the royal Canterlot voice. And shoot, I thought we was going to get to go to Whitetail Woods, man, but we didn't. But that's okay. Maybe in another episode. And again, it was interesting that Celestia thought she was going that Starlight would be there. Starlight just crashed. Like, okay, it's nighttime. I'm dead. And she was adorable, just the way she was sleeping there, just completely out of it. Like, okay, thud. Like, yeah, I'm totally, like, princess, I'm totally good. I'm going to thud. Again, I loved it. And then we got to see that again, a more natural moment whenever Celestia is talking to herself, and she actually acknowledges that she's talking to herself. And then we get to see inside of these dreams. We get to see some interesting things, and this gives me a better chance to actually see some other things. We see Fluttershy and Angel Bunny. And again, I'm not sure whose dreams these are, but we see Fluttershy on Angel Bunny's head. I don't know whose dream that is. We get to see Daring Do. Again, not sure if that's Rainbow or Daring Do's. We get to see, oh my gosh, we get to see Cadence and Flurry as a DJ. Oh my gosh, that's funny. And she's actually, and we get, and she's like, Cadence is bobbing her head, so it's like, could Flurry Heart be dreaming that, or is Cadence dreaming that her little girl is going to be a DJ? Okay. And then we see Discord having a pillow fight with that blob. That's interesting. We see Pinky surfing on Gummy. It's Pinky. You know, I can't really question that. We see Baby Applejack. Interesting. We see Twilight and Rainbow flying together. And we see Dr. Hooves. And is that one of the Weeping Angels? We see Dr. Hooves, and what is that? Like, it's kind of small. It looks like it's either on a desk, or is that off in the distance? Is that a Weeping Angel? Is that a freaking Weeping Angel, man? Man, I hope it is. And we see, oh, the Flam A-Hole Brothers. Okay. And we see Derpy with the Twilight Cane. Oh my gosh. With the Twilight Cane. Oh my gosh. Or the Twilight Cane. I just now noticed that. Oh my gosh. And again, that moment whenever, like, whenever she realizes she's talking to herself. And then the nightmare that Starlight is having first with the pancakes. Yeah, it seemed kind of silly at first, and again, it was adorable with her there. But then it goes, like, she's having this nightmare of just everything turning out bad because of her making a bad decision. She was afraid that it was her fault, that everything was her fault. She was blaming herself. She thought she'd screwed up big time, like, royally screwed up. And it was all over. Like, she had brought about the end of Equestria simply because she was trying to help. And so she was afraid of that. And Celestia at first thought that she would just have to fight Nightmare Moon. She said she knew how to defeat Nightmare Moon. But then we see this other villain. Daybreaker? Yeah, Daybreaker. I think it was. And she was essentially And again, this much I'm not really sure, because she told Celestia that she was her. And so there's a few different ways, and I might be not understanding this, and I apologize if I'm not, but there's a few different interpretations that you could interpret this particular thing. And this could have been Starlight's own variation. This could have been her own nightmare. That Celestia, this could be, where this is like Starlight's nightmare. She could have that fear that Celestia harbors, that Celestia could harbor a deep, like a very deep feeling of power, and that this is that manifests into an evil form. This could be sort of a bit of Luna's own nightmare, possibly, with Luna originally having that, or this could be Celestia's own manifestation, like her own nightmare manifest into this. Again, I'm not really sure exactly, because she just interrupts this, and so I'm not really sure if if Daybreaker is a product of Starlight's nightmare, Luna's, or even Celestia's. Now, it would honestly kind of make sense, honestly, if it was sort of a manifestation of Luna's, or it would make more sense if it was a manifestation of Luna's or Celestia's nightmare. Like, for Luna, it's a old fear that she had from back before she became Nightmare Moon, that she was feared that her own sister would become some sort of powerful monarch. And this is the image that she had nightmares of her sister becoming. And this was Celestia's first time knowing of the nightmare that her sister had of her. That's one theory. Another theory, again, is it could be Celestia's nightmarish manifestation. And that Celestia, too, could harbor a deep fear of herself becoming something like Nightmare Moon if she allows herself to become overrun with that power. And this could be that image, manifests into this particular thing. Of course, that's just a theory. I don't really know. Maybe I'm reading too deeply into it. But, Celestia, or Daybreaker, and Nightmare Moon began to fight. And Starlight was deeply afraid that she had screwed everything up, and she was afraid that everything was going to go wrong. And Celestia at first thought she could fight, but then she realized she couldn't. She realized she couldn't handle it. She couldn't do what her own sister could do. And then she was able to look into Luna's nightmare. And so this kind of breaks my other theory about this actually being part of Luna's nightmare, but it could still be a bit of a manifestation to a sense. But Luna was having a nightmare of the fillies that she hurt unintentionally. She was having nightmares of that, and she had nightmares of the fillies and them not being able to go on a field trip. And because Luna didn't smile, whenever she opened her mouth, she began to lose her teeth. And my gosh, that went dark. Like, that went from zero to dark in a hurry. And she suddenly began to see those little fillies there, and she was losing her teeth. It was hurting her. It was mentally scarring her. And then Celestia was able to reach through that veil in that dream realm, and there was a brief hug between them, and they came through. And then it was at that point that Celestia and Luna were able to see the battle. They were able to see that battle between Daybreaker and Nightmare Moon. And honestly, I don't know why, but Daybreaker, I'm not criticizing the names. Lord knows I'm not. But Daybreaker and Nightmare Moon, it kind of sounds like a Keyblade you get in Kingdom Hearts, doesn't it? Like, it kind of sounds like a weapon you might get in Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy, like Daybreaker or Nightmare Moon. It kind of sounds like it. Daybreaker more so. Again, I'm not bashing the names. Like, I do like the names. It does fit. Nightmare Moon, Daybreaker, it does fit. But again, I can totally imagine there being a weapon in Final Fantasy that you can get called Daybreaker. So yeah. But again, okay. My original theories, scrap that, because again, this is Starlight's nightmare, and so yes, she just had that image apparently she just had that fear that Celestia would become super powerful like Nightmare Moon, and it would just destroy. They would just begin to fight, and it would ultimately destroy everything. And Starlight was just heartbroken. Like she was just broken down, and like Luna said, like she understood the consequences. Like if this continued, and Starlight continued to have those fears and everything, that it could break her. Like it could destroy her mentality. It could destroy her psyche. And again, it kind of makes me think about Doctor Who whenever Donna, like season 4, whenever Donna had that moment whenever she had pretty much the same knowledge that the Doctor did. And because she knew so much, it wasn't normal for a human being to know that, and so it was beginning to melt her mind. And all of this tension, all of this strain of this right here, and this nightmare, it was going to it was going to break her, like it was going to cause her to crack. And so here, Celestia realized she couldn't handle what Luna did, and she realized she couldn't do it. And Luna, I mean, it surprised Luna, but she was also like, Celestia understood that she couldn't do it, and Celestia said that I mean, she understood that Luna was strong, that she was a strong pony, and it felt good for Luna to actually hear that. And again, it was really cool, like that moment whenever the younger sister gets to wipe the eye of her big sister. Again, it was adorable. It was sweet. For the first time here, we actually get to see Celestia, and again, I'm not making fun of the character, but for the first time here, we actually get to see Celestia like go powerful and actually kick a bad guy's butt and not get her own butt handed to her on a silver platter. Again, no disrespect to that. Lord knows I'm not making fun of the character whatsoever, but you know, we saw before, we saw with whenever Queen Chrysalis first come in at the end of season 2, we see Celestia get captured. Then we saw what happened again. We saw what happened. I think it was at the end, or in the beginning of season 4, wasn't it? Yeah, it was season 4 with the vines. Pardon me, that Discord had planted, or the seeds that Discord, pardon me, had planted years before. We saw that, and then Celestia kind of got captured again at the end of season 5. And so, yeah. Sorry, season 6. Yeah, sorry, season 6. So yeah, so we got to see that. And so here, Celestia actually got to kick some butt. So yeah, she actually got to kick some butt. But again, it was cool and funny. I mean, it was funny, honestly. It was cartoon comedy. How after that battle right there, Celestia didn't just descend. No, she just quickly thud, like in a cartoonish style. And it was like, victory! Like that. And and I loved it, honestly. Like, it was quick, and it was funny because of it, and I loved it. And then again, I love that little moment of the sisters like getting along and everything right there. And again, one of my favorite parts of this episode with the sisters bonding is at the end. Whenever Luna makes Celestia some pancakes, and they're just kind of like crudely done. Obviously, Luna isn't as skilled with making pancakes as Celestia is. Like she doesn't have the knack for it yet. She may in time, but again, she tried. And so, I mean, Celestia, she tried a bite of it. She lied and said that she liked it because she didn't want to hurt Luna's feelings. And again, it was cute. It was a sweet sister moment there. And then, like, that moment whenever she realizes, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Again, it was hilarious. And it felt so natural. They actually felt like sisters here. Not the royal princesses. No, they were natural. And I loved it. And then whenever Luna, she laughs, and she just is like a natural, and she just says that she knows that the pancakes are bad. She knows they're bad. And again, that dialogue and everything right there, I love that. I loved that at the end right there. with that little moment right there, that little sisterly bond there between them. I absolutely adore that. It was so good. And then whenever Twilight just suddenly appears out of nowhere, and then she's just like, my gosh, like she appears with wing boners, and she just appears out of nowhere, and Celestia and Luna kind of have this funny expression like, what the freak are you doing here? And also like, okay, yeah, she's kind of flipped. And the toothbrush, that's Spike's toothbrush! I wondered about that first time I saw it. Like, I couldn't really analyze it, but that's Spike's toothbrush! I'm wondering why it's all crooked. Like, is it supposed to be that way? I'm pretty sure it does. It's not. Pretty sure it's not the like, you know, the typical grip for a toothbrush. Not really sure how that's comfortable. And again, that hug right there with Starlight and Twilight was awesome. She's like completely crazy. Like, thank you, tell me everything. And then like, it was just hilarious. Like, she's hyperventilating. And she's completely insane. Like, she's completely batshit insane. And then she uses her magic to just drag Starlight away. And Starlight just has this look like, oh my crap. Like, oh jeez, my day just got so much more hectic. Again, I loved it. It was so cool. Like, it was wonderful. I loved it. And that final little moment with Celestia and Luna, again, I love it. I really love it. It was great. And again, honestly, I totally understand. I totally see now why so many people, there were several people that were telling me, you know what, this episode is amazing. People are basically going crazy over it. I had a few different people tell me, both on YouTube and on Facebook, I can't wait for you to see this episode. I see why you wanted me to watch this episode. Oh my gosh. Again, this episode is freaking amazing. I love this episode. It was so incredibly well done. I just realized, oh my gosh, right here in the credits, the voice actor for the mayor of Baltimore and the mayor of Philadelphia. Okay. And again, it's funny because again, you know, Baltimore is where BronyCon is held, and so yeah, that's cool. But again, I love this episode, man. I really, really do. Who wrote storyboard? Okay, storyboard. Who wrote the episode? Hang on. Okay, Joanna Lewis and Kristen Sanko. Thank you for an episode that we've been waiting a long time for. Thank you both for an incredible episode. If you wrote the, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you did, but thank you for writing the sisters' dialogue, their actions and everything, the way that you did. Thank you so much for writing it. Just writing the story the way you did, the characters' actions or dialogue, just writing it, and also to the voice actors, voice actresses, thank you so much for delivering the lines in the incredible way that you did. Thank you all so much for that. To the animators, thanks so much for animating the characters, facial expressions as incredibly well as you did. Thank you so much. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes, not just of this season, but of the series in general. Like I said, this has been an episode we've been waiting for a long time for. This was a wonderful episode. This was a freaking hilarious episode. Golden episode. I adored this episode. So, again, to everybody, Hasbro DHX, thank you so much, everybody that worked on this episode. This is an amazing episode. Thank you so much. I really, really love this episode. This is a wonderful episode. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much. And also, thank you guys again for joining me as well. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on this episode, my reaction overall. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yes, the jokes that I made in the episode, like, yeah, the whole "do you like bananas" thing, yeah, things like that. Yeah, that's what come to mind whenever I saw the scenes there. So again, yeah, thank you guys again for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys again for joining me, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.